All right, I'm doing the book review, The Truth of Right Now by Kara Lee Corthron. Fabularian here, and I'm so excited to talk to you about The Truth of Right Now by Kara Lee Corthron. I absolutely love this book. I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. This is a story about two teenagers, both of them 16 years old, Lily and Derry. Lily is the main character, and the story is primarily told in her voice. Derry, the story is told also in his voice, but his story is mostly told in the third person and narrated by the author. The voice is very authentic. I thought I could have just completely kept on reading this forever and ever. From the musical reference, the television references, I really got the voice, and I thought it was very authentic. I thought it really hit me. The characters kind of left off the page. The style, as I said before, was told in alternating voice, which I did like that because it gave you that additional insight into what the characters are feeling, what they're thinking, and also how their actions kind of being able to see Derry outside of himself. The setting is in New York City. I felt like Corthron did an excellent job of describing the city. It was almost like an additional character. You could taste the food, you could smell the scents. You were on that ferry, that Staten Island ferry with Lily, and you could just feel her anguish, the healing and the harm that she was doing to herself on those voyages, kind of stalking her ex-lover. The different places that they went, they're riding the train, cutting school, and all the different things that they could do, going to the art galleries. You really could see and smell and hear everything that was going on. I felt that it really did a great job. I felt that the story did a very good job of really addressing certain issues as Lily's mental health situation and some of the racial microaggressions that Derry was dealing with, just in the other characters that he was interacting with, but also in how he dealt with the police and ultimately the police brutality, which kind of builds up and culminates towards the end of the story. I felt that the characters were extremely complex. I felt that this was the strength of the book, that this could have been a fairly typical boy meets girl YA, but the complexity of the characters really just kind of just gets all in your feelings, and nothing is really black or white. I also felt that the themes that were touched on in the book were very right now, that were very poignant, and she really does a way of showing these really layered and complex situations that are happening between these characters. No one is completely good and no one is completely bad. If anything, everyone is kind of more bad than they are good, but it's told in such an empathetic way that you will be able to feel some of the characters and be mad at some of them. But I like that they're messy. I like that they're impeccably flawed, and I really thought that was a strength of the book and something that compelled me to stay up all night and read it until it was finished. I liked the cover. I thought it was very interesting. It kind of looks like a line drawing, but it was done very well. Overall, I would say that this was an excellent book. It's one of my favorites that I've read so far. I would say that if you've read some of the other YA books that are kind of touching on interracial dating and police brutality, maybe The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, or Dear Martin by Nick Stone, which hasn't come out yet, or if you've ever read All American Boys by Jason Reynolds, or Speak of Me as I Am by Sonia Velasquez, you may really this book may speak to you, but it kind of has that maybe that Rainbow Rowell kind of feel to the writing as well. So I thought it was really is stellar. You should definitely check this one out if you haven't already. Right now, I just kind of finished Tyrell by Cole Booth, which I loved, and before that I read Kinda Like Brothers, also by Cole Booth, and both of them were excellent, so I would highly recommend those books. I listened to the audiobook for those two. There is no audiobook for The Truth of Right Now, because if you follow my blog at all, you probably know that I am an audiobook queen, and so there was no audiobook for that one, but I still just sat down and I just read it. But the audiobooks for Kinda Like Brothers and for Tyrell were excellent. I would highly recommend that you listen to those books. I'm halfway through Speak With Me As I Am by Sonia Velasquez, so be on the lookout for that review that will be coming soon. And if there's any books, probably coming up, I'll be reading Overturned by Lamar Giles, Miles Morales by Jason Reynolds, and Little and Lion by Randy Colbert. So I'm so excited to read those books. Anyway, see you around the internet somewhere. Love you. Bye.